welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Afternoon, Lydia. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Mtumba, good afternoon and welcome to an exclusive edition of the Afternoon Cruise right here on Zamcom Radio.
Thank you so much, Riti and Zamcom Radio, and also the listeners, wherever they're listening us from, and also your co-host, Gift. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Indeed. So, our dear listeners, our topic of discussion this afternoon, we are discussing development priorities and also service delivery in the Shivuyunji district. So, our topic of discussion, dear listeners, we are also going to talk about different issues ranging from waste management, drainage systems, market operations, council service delivery, and also some part of parasite challenges, and also other important developmental concerns affecting the residents of Shivwenji district. So let's go deep into our conversation, Mr. Mtumba. Or maybe before that, our people may want to know, they may want to know you. Whenever someone is on radio, there's always someone who's listening to them for the very first time. So they may want to know to say, who is Mr. Kenny Mutumba?
All right. My full name's Dennis Kenny Mutumba.
Mhm.
I reside and I come from Shivuyunji. That is the west side of Lusaka, just about 33 kilometers. And I'm also a good governance analyst. This year, I'm aspiring as an independent candidate for Shivuyunji Town Council, where I want to see that there is proper and effective governance under Shivuyunji Town Council. So that is who Dennis is. Apart from that, I'm also a traditional leader representing the loyal family of Mokovela village. Yeah, I'm also a life coach. At the same time, I'm also an activist and advocate of good governance and human rights. So maybe in a nutshell, that's who Dennis is.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you so much. And there are some, before we even go into your solutions and your development priorities in Shivunji district, there are some news going on social media and also within different communities that you have withdrawn from the race after being gifted and given a certain amount of money. So, what is your quick reaction and also assurance to our dear listeners, Mr. Dennis Kenneth Kamtumba?
Thank you, Riti. That's a very critical question, and I think my followers are communicating to me that I've stepped down, or rather, I've withdrawn from the list. I've not, and there is no such a thing, and I've not decided that direction because I've been following. I will have communicated to the people. I'm not going to withdraw, but I'll make sure that I reach the stage where people will decide who is the leader under Shivuyunji Town Council. So let me communicate to my followers and everyone out there that I've not withdrawn. Those are just mere rumors. I think people are circulating. I've been, asked so many questions by my followers and supporters. Why have you decided to withdraw? I've not withdrawn. I'm still on the race.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So now, dear listeners, if you are just joining us, you are listening to the Afternoon Cruise right here on Zamcom Radio. And our guest, dear listeners, is Mr. Dennis Kenneth Mtumba, who is independent council chairperson aspiring candidate for Shivuyunji district. And our topic of discussion, dear listeners, we are discussing development priorities and service delivery in Shivuyunji district. We shall open our phone lines later, dear listeners, and you'll be calling us on 0978 0018, and our guest, dear listeners, will be able to respond to your question.
Okay, so let's dive into it. Mr. Kennedy,
Mm.
how do you plan to improve revenue collection in bus stations and make markets across Shioyingi more lively for everyone?
Okay, thank you so much. We are all aware, I think Zambians are aware that local government or maybe a town council is the government closer to the people. So we are given a mandate to do revenue collection in market, bus stations, and a number of services that we provide to the community, especially those that are entrepreneurs, those that are running shops, those that are running bars, those that are running many other businesses. The council is mandated to collect revenues. So we ensure that we educate our communities that are running businesses to ensure that they cooperate with requirements that everyone who is running a business must pay levies, because that is a business that the local authority does at any local level. We are going to effectively have an inclusive program to educate and also make the businessmen and women entrepreneurs to understand the importance of paying these levies, because when they do so, they are simply paying taxes that will run up the council for the council to develop.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Tumba. So now, if we look at the revenue collection, there are some barriers that block effective collection of these revenue, and mainly the challenge has been on some political cadres that take charge of collecting this revenue. So, if the people give you the chance to be their council chairperson, what assurance are you going to make to them to say you are an independent candidate and such issues of cadres collecting revenue on behalf of council is something that you're not going to tolerate?
All right. It is by law that local authority, the town council, in any given space, they are the only ones that are mandated to collect levies and taxes at the local level. So another person who is collecting taxes or levies, when there is an institution that is mandated, then that person is illegally collecting those levies, and we are supposed to report such people to the council. Coming in as an independent candidate is to see to it that policies are being implemented accordingly. We're not going to tolerate any individual who, in the name of cadreism, collecting monies when the councils are there. In all spaces, councils are mandated to correct levies on behalf of the government, so that those monies are the ones that will run up the administration of that local authority. So in Shibuyunji, we don't have cases where cadres are correcting monies. If they are correcting monies, I think it must be within their agreement, maybe in a corrective way, that they are contributing certain amounts for themselves. Okay, not representing the council. That is very illegal. So I'm coming in just to make sure that all policies are implemented. That is my duty and that is my mandate once people give me a vote to get into Shwinji Town Council.
Indeed.
Sure.
Lovely. Mr. Mtumba, considering that waste management remains a major concern in Shiwoyonji, what measures are you putting in place to improve garbage collection, especially in markets and bus stations?
It's a requirement that any council must advocate and promote cleanliness. So in any area, we must also educate our people. There are countries I've traveled where even throwing litter, in a mindset of one individual cannot do that until one person meets a bin. So we must educate our people, especially that, Shiwinchi Town Council is both in urban and also, peri-urban. So we need to educate people on how important it is in terms of cleanliness. So now garbage collection is our priority. We ensure that, we buy bins where people throw their litter. If possible, we'll also maybe talk to section people, also community headmen, that, we create an environment that is very conducive to ensure that we promote cleanness in our council. And it is our duty to prepare a space where we're going to throw those, wastes that are thrown by people, because we would like to also maybe charge a little money so that our council can operate effectively. Shibuyonji is a clean, district, so that we really tell people that when you have effective leadership, it will consider, educating people, make an awareness, announcing people that they should not put things, without order. As our priority with my councillors, once we get into office, after August will ensure that we improve and also come up with better policies that will address the issues of waste management. That will be our priority because we are mandated to do so as a council.
Right, indeed.
Sure.
I'm happy you touched on coming up with a certain fee. I wanted to know also if there will be some deliberate policies that or deliberate laws that you're going to put in place to ensure that people are aware the importance of this, or maybe yes, people are aware and also they know the importance of having a clean market and also bus stations.
Yeah, of course. Every council, as a chamber, we sit, okay, to provide a roadmap on how we are going to manage our council. So we'll come up with a certain fee because every council is mandated to arrive at a certain, reasonable fees to charge on the administration of waste management. We'll sit as a council. I'm not going to impose my thought, but we'll debate because, as you were in the chamber, you debate and agree, arrive at a certain point where all of you decide to say, okay, this is a better thing that will really, appreciate many, especially when we come out with what will be concluded, how much we should charge people for us to maintain a better, clean environment.
Right, so thank you so much. So to our dear listeners, if you're just joining us, you are listening to the afternoon cruise right here on Samsung Radio. And our guest, dear listeners, is Mr. Dennis Kennedy Mtumba, who is independent aspiring candidate for the position of council chairperson in Shivunji district of Central Province. Our topic of discussion, dear listeners, we are discussing development priorities and also service delivery in Shivunji district. We shall open our phone lines soon, dear listeners, and the number that you'll be using is 0978 640018. 0978 640018. And in our guest, dear listeners, will be able to answer to your questions.
So, Mr. Mtumba, how will you ensure transparency and fairness in allocation of trading spaces and stands, both existing and newly established ones in the market?
That's a very important question. I think many other local authority are experiencing difficulties because, engaging political representatives in spaces where council is supposed to run, it has brought difficulties for the council to run up the administration effectively. The challenge has been that, there is this, partnership that are going on in many local authorities where, party members also wants to demonstrate their powers. When we know that the president said there is no more cadarism. So it is only the council that can give spaces to those that would want to join, marketeers or maybe joining doing businesses in any space. The council are principally given a mandate to ensure they allocate portions of land for the traders. It is not cadres that are supposed to give a space because cadres, what are they doing? What right do they have? What capacity do they have to run up, the sharing of spaces where traders are supposed to be found? We have seen this in many markets. Go to Soweto today, you find the controlling system is coming from cadres. And I don't know why maybe, the leadership of UPND is not giving a directive as to why many cadres are controlling spaces of trading than the council itself. There is a lot of money that, the local authority is losing, which is going in the pockets of individuals. I think under my leadership with the councillors, we ensure that there is no single cadre, there are no section chairperson who will be part of us in terms of allocating land. Land belongs to the government, and the local authority is a government closer to the people. So there must be that transparency. We know there are other, council officers that may be enticed to partner with cadres in allocating portions of land where traders are supposed to trade from. I think it's not allowed. It's not legal. That is illegal. So under my leadership as a council chairperson, we'll give a directive based on the policies and the implementation of those policies. We must make sure that each and every person benefit from land without corruption, because the problem has been that, many councils have also been enticed under the influence of cadres, giving land illegally, placing people in wrong places. At the end of the day, we are becoming an embarrassment to the society because there are spaces that are supposed to be left for certain programs. But you find that because of the influence of cadreism, councils are also controlled by the cadres. It is not what Hagainde Chilema preached to the Zambians when he was sworn in as a president. He mentioned that there must be no cadarism. Let local authority operate independently because that is a government closer to the people. So there must be transparency. Apart from that, being a local authority chairperson, you are also given power to go and educate people. Are you aware that most of the machines and also vehicles or any other thing that is bought within the council, very few communities knows how much it was bought, but we want to tell people how much we bought it and how much we received from the government, especially where equalization fund is concerned. We must tell people. We don't need to wait for them to come and ask how much were you allocated. We must allow our PRs to go on radio stations like Zamcom, tell people in Shibuyunji we're given so much money, this is how much we have spent, so that people get to know they are entitled, because they're the ones who gives mandate to individuals that goes in the chamber to talk about, laws that are better for the community. There is no way you would hide them information. It's just very important that every quarter, if possible, or yearly, we invite people, tell them exactly how much we've spent, because they're the ones that gave us power.
All right, thank you so much. So you've talked about markets, and let's look at Nampundu market. Do you have any plans once people should give you that opportunity to extend it so that it can accommodate more marketeers?
The market itself, for example, the Nampundwe market and also Shibuyunji, the space of expanding those two markets is quite very difficult because it is already surrounded by individual properties. So our plan is that when we get to council, we have enough land. We have a civic center. This is a land which was given to us by traditional leaders. So we need to build a bigger market. In fact, a high-tech one. We've seen many other areas where using CDF, we have come up with market, because today the economy must improve through these economical activities where traders are selling their products and services in an environment where it's conducive. When you come to Nampundu, you find that the place itself, the market, because it's like the planning never thought that Nampundu would grow. So there is no expansion unless we demolish and maybe have it like the way we did here in Lusaka along Lumumba Road. You have this Munyaure. It has been upgraded to 3-story. So this is the reason why we are saying, in as much as the space is too small, we would consider, we'll sit down with the technocrats and also the councillors to see, are we going to demolish and allow people to trade maybe from a certain space for a certain while as we upgrade, or just improve the standard of the market structure. So all these plans are underway, because in my manifesto, I have told people that when we get into power, we'll change the market spaces. We will change the bus station. We'll have, an ablution block that is improved, where marketeers, if they feel they need to refresh, they have this facility where they can go and have a shower. As of late, the facility that we have cannot accommodate our marketeers because the population is growing. So as we plan, from what we call integrated development plan, we'll look at, improving the market structures to make them look better than ever before, because we have enough money now in the councils through the office of the Member of Parliament this year across the country in all 156 constituencies. Before we added the 70 constituencies, we are going to have more than 40 million. Now, for us, we are lucky because Shibuyunji is hosting Mwembeshi East and West. So we are going to have 80 million. We'll talk to the councillors who sits in the ward development committees to advise those who submit the projects that they want, that they must consider that in each area, in every ward, if possible, there must be a market, because you can't live where you're always buying things far away, maybe covering 5 kilometers. We want to have market stations where people can go and buy what they want, because we are allowing and we are accommodating every businessman to come up with a business, but they must trade at one place so that the council continues to collect levies, which will run up the programs of the council and administration.
All right, thank you so much. To our dear listeners, if you're just joining us, you are listening to the afternoon cruise right here on Azamcom Radio. And our guest, dear listeners, is Mr. Dennis Kennedy Mtumba, who is independent council chairperson, aspiring candidate for Shibuyunji district for this August 13th general elections. And our topic of discussion, dear listeners, we are discussing development priorities and also service delivery in Shibuyunji district. If you have a question for our guest this afternoon, dear listeners, The number you can use, you can call in. The number is 0978 640018. If you have a question for Mr. Dennis Kenneth Mutumba, who is independent council chairperson aspiring candidate for Shuvunji district, the number is 0978 640018. And our guest, dear listeners, will be able to answer to your question.
Okay, so we've talked about garbage collection in the marketplaces. Uh, so considering also that Shuyunji has quite poor drainage systems continue to affect many communities during the rainy season. What is your plan to improve the drainage systems or infrastructure in Shuyunji?
All right. It's a blessing to have a leadership of the UPND that has managed to allocate finances in all these local authorities, including Shibuyunji. Shibuyunji is a victim of poor drainage system. Listeners and the people of Shibuyunji, this is the more reason why they've made it possible to have a new independent leader who will not be directed based on personal interest, but a leader who will equally distribute leadership accordingly. If you were to visit Shibuyunji today, you find that even the road itself, the roads that are there, are in a deplorable state, despite being graded in the fear of the directive from the president. The road network is very bad. Now, we want to make sure we have yellow machines who prioritize doing projects for the community than hiring the machinery for maybe purposes of making more money. Those yellow machines were bought that the whole district have better roads in all the wards, number one. Number two, as we engage contractors who are doing these roads, because we have a compactor, we have a grader, we have a roller, we have a tipper, we have an excavator. We have all machineries that should improve the road network, should improve the drainage system. You go to these many wards like Nampundwe, okay? Let's begin with Nampundwe because it is Ward 1 of Shibuyunji district. It has a very bad drainage system. Yet we have machineries to work on. Why can't we utilize equalization fund since we bought yellow machine through CDF? Why don't we get part of the money and also partner with our investors that are within Shibuyunji, that we have a corporate responsibility, because we must tell them as they benefit from our district in all their programs they are doing, they must also plow back to the people. So we can partner to say, all right, can you fund us with fuel since we already bought machineries to grade and also put up drainage systems? We can do this better, and we are going to do it better because people, wherever they are entitled to better roads. They are entitled to a proper drainage system. Once these things are not done, this is the more reason why people will keep on changing leaders, thinking that when this leader comes, he will give us help. When this leader comes, he will give us help. But unfortunately, those that are in office, they don't understand what they're supposed to do, because me as a council chairperson, I have power to direct the director of works, the planners, and to sit down with a principal officer who is a council secretary to see to it that the machinery that we have must first do better jobs for our community before we can hire them. Because if we concentrate in hiring our machines, then people always be complaining. People always complain that this government is not doing fine. So during rain season, we've seen situation where people cannot cross over to go where they want. People cannot manage to drive small cars because roads are in a pathetic status. They're impassable. They're in a deplorable state. So we want to ensure that utilizing the machines that was already bought under the previous leadership, the councillors that thought to buy these yellow machines did well, because these are machines we can use. We don't need to hire machines from ZNS. We don't need to hire these machines from maybe private companies. When we have them on board, we must use them until we are done 50% of the jobs. Now, we can also hire, because at the end of the day, we need to raise money for the run-up of the administration of the council. But priority first things first is that we do proper roads, we put up drainage systems so that our people can be happy. Any good governance, it is all about collective minds that look at the people first. than our personal interest. So when I'm a leader, we'll make sure that we direct the council, the technocrats to do their best in order to promote good governance.
All right, thank you so much. Dear listeners, if you're just joining us, you are listening to the Afternoon Cruise right here on Azamcom Radio. And our guest, dear listeners, this afternoon is Mr. Dennis Kenneth Mtumba, who is Independent Council Chairperson for Shurunji District. And our topic of discussion, dear listeners, we are discussing development priorities and also service delivery in Shurunji District. If you have a question for our guest, dear listeners, you can call us right now. The number is 0978 The number is 0978 and our guest, dear listeners, will be able to respond to your questions. So now, Mr. Mtumba, let's also talk about burial sites that if you have seen in Shivuyunji district, it is an area that is receiving a lot of people that are shifting from Lusaka. They are going there in Shivuyunji district. So, if how do you intend to address the issue of also proper burial sites in Shivuyunji district after people give you that opportunity to be their leader?
All right. Shivuyunji is quite big, and Shivuyunji has enough land. Looking at the first burial site, that is in Nampundwe. That is where most people bury, especially those that are coming from far away, that are Nani, Shivuyunji, indigenous persons. When they have a funeral, there is a site where they go and bury. But going forward, in the next 5 years, that will be a smaller space. So now, when we get into office on the 13th, we'll sit down with our councillors. Is there another land that we have apart from the current cemetery where people are burying their beloved ones? It's very important to plan ahead 10 years. That's why the IDP looks at 10 years plan. But we must think of 100 years plan, because 10 years is a short period where a number of us, will reach that stage without even knowing that we are in 10 years. So we need to plan in advance. What if this cemetery is, full? Where are we going to take our beloved one? So we'll identify places, discuss with the traditional leaders, those that still have enough land to give us a space where we'll be burying our beloved one. But our plan as a council, in as much as we are only allowed to plan for 10 years, we must have, aspiration beyond 10 years, because that is the rigors we're going to live. Okay? Because when you think about the people, you must not think about them for a year. You must think that a year elapses in a short period of time. So what we want to look at is to have, stakeholders meeting, engage communities. Where can we spare a land just to bury our community members and those that are coming from far away, who cannot take their brothers, their sisters, or whoever dies whom they love, to take them. Maybe, for example, if you are coming from Chipata and you are employed in Shivuyunji, you don't need to get the body back to Chipata. We must find them a better space so that they bury peacefully, for them to visit the graveyards of their beloved ones. Plans will be there. Plans will be put in place to identify a portion of land that can accommodate, everyone in case of death for 100 years, if it is possible.
All right, thank you so much. Dear listeners, if you have a question for our guest, you can call us. The number is 0978 If you have a question for Mr. Dennis Kenneth Mtumba, who is Independent Council Chairperson aspiring candidate for Shivuyunji District, you can call us right now, dear listeners. The number is 0978 and our guest, dear listeners, will be able to respond and answer to your questions.
So you talked about the council doing its work. So considering that residents and business owners often complain about delays in accessing council services, such as trading licenses, how will your administration improve service delivery and efficiency at Shuyunji district?
Shivuyunji district is in two parts. It has, townships, and it has also rural space where we have shops.
Let's pick up this call.
Okay.
Hello. Bona bwanji boss. Alright, muyambango we can munga kambi. Kushubuyunji bayimirira ziba council chairperson. Alright, it's common morning by Mr. Muyambango. Okay, dear listeners, if you also have a question for our guest, who is Mr. Dennis Kennedy Mutumba, aspiring candidate for Shibunji district as a council chairperson, you can call us. Dear listeners, the number is 0978 640018. 0978 640018. You can call us, dear listeners, 0978 640018. And our guest this afternoon, dear listeners, will be able to answer to your question. Okay, Mr. Mutumba, you can react to.
All right. I think he's in the right direction to ask on behalf of many other councils. As I'm speaking for Shuyunji, I'm also trying to give a better picture for those that should govern in Kitwe, in Mutendele, under Lusaka District Council. So this question and his concern is genuine. It is also speaking for many other people, not only in Shuyunji. You know, the council is entitled to provide a plan for any city. The challenge has been that, you know, the planning system on these compounds or townships is quite very poor. That's why to address this situation where people are stepping on, you know, West staff way saying, no, Vinunka, it is all about the council. The question is, how are they performing? Because people are mandated to do so. Politicians should drive and give direction to the local authority to look up to the complaints. For example, my brother is saying, mwameneti pita monse mkungo diaka chevintu vinunka, upeza shoro wa vara smart, uyo panako pita nza pita kuti, because my lord siari bwino. So, ichi chamene bafunsa, siwa na funsile chabeba Shibuyunji, bafunsila bantu bonse mumakanso because indalama zilimo. Muli ndalama za Medical Equalization Fund, kuli ndalama za CDF na zeve zibwera pamozi kutandizira maplanzi yabaja bantu bamene bankala mu Ward Development Committee. Kuchitira kuti bakambo chita submit vintu bamene bafuna bakaziyangana nanga chamene chitivuta maningi ni chiti. Now councillors bankala mu committees ya Ward Development Committee bafunika batandizira because ma committee members bamene bamangera mu Ward Development Committee maybe sometimes swatch to understand vintu bamene bafunika oyambirira kuchita submit kuchitira kuti council ikalandira na mukomiti ja CDF baone kuti manjira yako mutendere vishala vapaka nanga wai kanso siye ndo tenga ya Jama West kwa apereka kwa mene yafunikira muzapeza ngati kulibe lamulo bantu wazambo chita usiku nenzo vichitapo ene pale nenzo kala kwa Emasdale na bana wa sisters wanga kukafipa usiku tembekeza bagone bantu mwendo tenga che vishala mwendo vitaira munjira so now behavior yaso sileta you know good health to the people. Vamene vishala vijavingarete matenda kwabwera outbreak ya cholera ndife tidwala. So now makanso yasangone yafunika time to time wapitamu na chimegaphone baba uza bantu kulipamenti zafaka space point otaira vishala. So this is very important. But ingati kanso yankala chabezi bakungotenga chabe malevies siwaenda kuuza bantu makomboni muzapeza ati bantu zambo touch taita Europa nyumba pano simungafune muntu adia majigizi chipepa ataya kufunika kwa nkalako kabini. So kanso ichitache promoting kani ya good health and conducive environment ni same na Kushibuyunji kwa meni chokera tifunika tankala na ma spaces bantu kwa meni wazambo taira vishala vao na kambati na ma townships like Nampundwe, Shibuyunji aya ne ma places yakuru bantu kwa mene baliri so bantu swafuniko touch taita chikanga chabe oro muminzi kanso ifunika ipita iuza abantu vija vota taya muleke mufunika mwakumba migodi motaira vishala mutayamo na mankwala yakuti kusankhale matenda because bayinzi baja kaenda pa vishala babwera futi kubwera ndonkhala pa supu ya nyama simuzaona na kwamene muzadwalira muzambo kamba tiya ibatilowa kansi mwazipaya mwebene wake because if as a council ndife tifunika nkhala kusogolo kuza abantu wa muminzi na mu townships kuchita chintu chowamiza so that bakonke malamulo because ndalama ziliko kulibe dandaulo yakuti noti libe tipa ife kushibuyunji kwezereka motoka kang'ono patikangena tiza making sure that tankala na motoka ikuru izambo nyamula vishala vabantu even na muminzi ngati bafuna tizaendo vita ya somewhere maybe kwa many tienda because of technology vishala vamene titaya futi kuliwena ngwakamba tifuna poma plastic to do a recycle project. This is the reason why we will have what we call waste management program to protect even that area committed to taira vishala.
All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Mtumba. Unfortunately, time is not on our end. Would like you to maybe to just answer, as you are concluding in your closing remarks, we would like you to also maybe under 30 seconds tell the residents what they would like to the residents what they should expect from your leadership once they usher you as their council chairperson.
Okay, thank you. When they vote for me on 13th August, the first thing we do in the first 100 days is to ensure that we create a conducive environment where we want to attract our investors to come because Shibuyunji has a space to accommodate investors so that our young people can get a job. Number two, we ensure that there is always transparency. People should know how much we are spending, what we want to buy. Where possible, people must also be free to visit us so that they are able to communicate their needs. We engage stakeholders like traditional leaders. As we live in the peri-urban, we have traditional leaders that we need to engage because any council operate on a land, and we know this land that we operate on, we as a council, we are also agents of Minister of Lands. We want to ensure that there is transparency in allocating land, there is transparency in accommodating those that who comes to do businesses in our area. We just want to make sure that we bring effective leadership that is exceptional so that we make a difference because there is a lot of money that we are given now in the constituencies and the district. There is no complaint that we should give. We must save the people because we are servants. We want to show good leadership. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mtumba, for making it through for today's edition of the Afternoon Cruise. We look forward to host you in any time soon.
Thank you. You can engage us. Sure.
Yes, we have come to the end of so soon.
So soon, like it was so short.
Yeah, imagine. Well, dear listeners, on that note, we have come to the end of today's edition of the Afternoon Cruise. Our guest was Independent.
Oh my goodness.